And there is so much to discuss today. Good gracious. First of all, you guys should go to the Twitter handle of Smooth FM at Smooth91 FM. Allow me real quick infrastructure. There's this viral video over the weekend. I think it was either yesterday or Saturday that it happened. The Lagos Benin Expressway. Allow me, you're smiling. Everybody knows, for those who travel by road, all of us have traveled that area. We know how terrible it is. Some individual was stuck in on the expressway. He or she, I hear it's a she, ordered a helicopter. This is amazing. You guys should go watch this video. This person ordered a helicopter which landed in the middle of the road. The person gets into the helicopter and flies away and then leaves her car behind. Olamide, I just tagged the minister of, I was asking you which minister we should tag. I've tagged the Ministry of Transportation. I've tagged the Ministry of Works, Power and Housing. I've tagged Mr. Fashola. I've tagged Mr. Rotimi Amici. Who else do I need to tag? Aso Rock?
And I think you're fine.
We're laughing, but this thing is not funny.
I think you're fine.
I mean, how long has the Lagos? I mean, how long has that expressway been terrible?
I mean, it's been for a while, yeah. We know the usual way we work here in Nigeria. You start the road, you do. I mean, I even noticed the trend. It's pretty funny where you start to do roads during rainy season. I don't know if I'm the only one, but
yeah, exactly, right.
I tend to see roads being repaired during rainy season. I'm not sure what exactly that is, and then it takes a very long time, or you do the road, and then the next season
it's bad
again. But I mean, it's what it is.
Okay, really, but another alarming thing, if you look at the comments on the Instagram page where this video was posted, were Nigerians cheering this person and saying, "Oh God, please, oh, I need to be next up to get my own helicopter." And there's not enough anger in the nation for people to actually be complaining about. And this translates into this need to get wealthy, where we have people on asking us on the show, Olamide, I need to make 30% in 2 months with a particular stock. Which stock can you give me? Why do we address this get rich quick thing with Nigerians? What's the answer? Huh?
Well, I mean, so it's what it is, in that if you can't even afford to get the basic amenities, really, all you would want to look out for is how you can get money as soon as possible.
That's it.
If just basic, you want to get just water, or
right.
You want to get just education, really little things, and it's so difficult for you to get it. What you tend to have is everybody trying to see, man, let me just scramble what I can get, and just get out and make it. Basically, that's it.
Just anyway, go check out the video. It really was kind of amazing that an individual can just order a helicopter and fly out of traffic. Daniel from Festac is asking when Dangote refinery is coming up. 2021, 2022.
I mean, we've heard different things from the media and all, but as it is, you can be sure it's not coming up this year. Next year, I mean, when we spoke with stakeholders, it did sound like a next year thing, but then we can remain hopeful and positive as to when it will come.
Funny enough, you mentioned rainy season. Dangote also talked about how delays in the refinery were caused by rain.
Yeah.
Amazing. Benga Kamu saying that someone sent in that video. We just continue to see strange things. Thank you. Benga has hit on the nail. Again, back to this get rich quick thing. He says, do you know MMM is back and people are falling again?
Yeah, I mean,
again, it's the same answer, Abby.
It's the same thing. If just to get, I mean, just 1,000 naira, you need 1K to just move. It's hard to get. All I really wanted to get a job is difficult. Boy. Once you can get the little things, what you find is everybody wants to, get whatever they can lay their hands on and move on. Even getting a job is difficult. Right. There's nothing that is easy. So people will still fall prey to this MMM and all of that.
Amazing. Lukman from Bagada says that he was past that road 3 weeks ago. He says that the RCC is working on that particular road. Lukman, when are they going to fix it? Dami, on the chopper story, we simply live in a loveless country. Canada all the way. Didn't you mention Canada earlier this morning when we were talking downstairs?
I don't know what you're talking about, Rotus.
Oh, gosh. Thank you all for your messages. All right, Olamide, real quick, let's move on to... I threw this question at you. I know you're an analyst. I should preface this question by Olamide is an analyst, and she's not actually, responsible for these higher decisions. But Olamide, when will brokerage services like the ARMs and the Mary Stems and the other houses assist Nigerians in a pathway to trading in commodities and foreign exchange. I asked this because shout out to Afex Nigeria. I attended a workshop that they held for the media where they are trying to educate the market on trading in commodities. Afex is also helping out smallholder farmers by bringing value to their produce by setting up all these little storage units. I shouldn't say little, they're actually bigger storage units for their produce. And on the other side, for brokerage houses, fund managers, investors, trying to set up a commodities exchange program for them. That's one. Then, and I'll give you a chance to answer. I know you want to answer. Then there's Trove. We talked about Trove and Bamboo. So real quick, Trove is trying to allow Nigerians to purchase foreign stocks overseas from the convenience of their phone. I think Bamboo is doing the same thing. We talked about that conference, the Disrupt Technology conference, where Bamboo was handing out flyers to people. So when are you guys going to join them?
Well, it's just a matter of what is your market, right? You don't just jump into things based on you think that's what is trending and that's what you should do. You need to understand the market. The market you have now. We just talked about people that are scrambling to get 1,000 naira. Are they same people or people that are falling prey to MMM? Are they the ones you want to get to this commodities market or to trade foreign stocks? When the ordinary man on the road is here to get $1 to feed for the day,
Yeah.
And the fact remains that so there's the thing is you have opportunities to invest in foreign stocks if you want to. There are dollar mutual funds that people can actually start trade with.
And you
they
guys
can use
offer
that
that?
platform. Yes, we
You
have
offer a dollar
funds.
mutual fund. Okay.
So I think we do. And there are other houses that actually have it. So that's what it is. But in terms of having a commodities a platform where you can trade commodities or trade foreign stock, you need to make sure your market is developed first before you dive into it. The major reason behind an investment is really to make money,
Right.
and
right.
if a large chunk of your market is not even well informed to make decisions that can help you make the return at the end of the day, you really want to be careful in the decisions you make.
I see. Well, that's our job. That's the job of ARM. That's the job of Business Express, to inform these people. So you guys, we should push ahead. Ibrahim says you wouldn't blame Nigerians seeking overnight gratification. Most of our thinking is a function of our reality. Look what's happening these days. Social media isn't helping. Yinku sends in a message about the same. The chopper thing is quite something else. Chuk says you sound like, is Young Six a rapper? Chuk says you sound like a rapper. I think Young. Oh, Rainmaker's message. Let's quickly get to that. The negative yields on bonds and I believe interest rates. I think this is happening in Europe. Rainmaker, I think, was it Yinka? Was it a Rainmaker or Yinka asked this question on Thursday that we should just give a quick explainer as to why we're seeing negative yields on interest rates and bonds in Europe. It's an economic issue, is it not, as far as those countries are concerned?
Okay, so I'll start with explaining what negative yields are. It's just basically giving an incentive to the borrower to actually get money.
Okay.
So if I borrow money, what happens is you're paying me for borrowing money,
Right.
basically.
That's
the idea.
yields,
That's
right.
negative yield.
Yeah.
Unlike the usual stuff you have in Nigeria here, where you borrow, you give the government money, you get, and then the government being the borrower, they have to pay you for
interest on that.
You understand? So the really what the idea is to stimulate the economy. When you have a negative rate, what they're trying to achieve is to actually stimulate drive economic growth, basically. And you have this happening in Japan. EU too is also doing something similar. I think recently in EU they introduced the third series of their targeted long-term refinancing operation.
Okay.
And it's the rate is also negative. It's tied to their deposit rates and the likes. And the idea is, so the loans are supposed to be directed to specific sectors. So if you can't borrow to do an investment in this sector, you literally get an incentive because you're borrowing at a negative interest rate. And what that happens is you can easily get more investors to come in to borrow from your country, basically.
Okay.
But in terms of his actual question, why bond yields are actually going negative. So in the markets where you have yields going negative, so sometimes it can easily give you an indication of what investors actually think. So right now we've gotten to a place where, unlike last year, where the economy, global economy was very it had an aggressive stance.
Yeah.
Rates were being raised.
Right.
US doing about 3 times and all, but at the start of the year they directed that if at all it would be once, and right now it's even looking like they might have to cut rates
Right.
just to drive the economy. US for instance they had the tax cuts that helped the economy last year.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually fade out. The expectation is for that to fade out this year, and that would affect consumption, which is a major part of their their
economy.
growth of
Yeah.
their economy.
Right.
So it is, what has happened is a lot of these countries are actually trying to stimulate their economy.
Mm-hmm.
They're also trying to make sure all of them have this targeted inflation, which is about 2%, and they're trying to look at how to drive inflation to that level. So the negative yields you're seeing in the market, you have quite a chunk of them trading negative. It's just investors trying to quickly buy the safe assets at the moment that still have positive yields, because they expect rates to still go further lower, going
so the benchmark
forward.
Interest rates is really a push.
Yeah.
Excellent,
Really,
excellent. All right, let's see. Ozzy, Olu, Zeal, Ibrahim, I see your messages as far as this helicopter thing. It's crazy. The major thing here is infrastructure is holding Nigeria back. This is something that we really, really, really need to stress heavily for people. Nigeria's infrastructure issues are also and power. Those are the two main things that are holding this country back. We can hold all the conferences we want in Nigeria about what direction we need to go, but as long as you have expressways that are holding people back, where people cannot get from one direction, one place to another, one destination to another, we're just not going to see the kind of progress that we want to. Let's see now. Fola, how much time we got? About
you have
about a minute.
A minute or two.
Okay, about a couple minutes. Okay, real quick. Shall we discuss the president inaugurating the National Economic Council? I believe that's happened on Thursday for his second term. He was saying that the governors should not expect any further bailouts going forward. Yeah, any thoughts on that?
Well, yes. I mean, it's a bit dicey. The government not giving any bailout at all to the state governments. It's not something that I think will happen immediately. But I think is what these are drastic measures that we actually need. This states need to start looking at how to generate income from within, because you can't keep relying on bailouts to actually grow your economy. And if you want the overall economy to grow, the state has its own place to play in this stuff, and it still boils down to getting the little things, this raw materials that we claim we have in this state. Look at how to grow it, look internally in terms of how to generate your money. Right now I think the guys that still have anything is probably still Lagos, and then the oil producing states. All these states in the west, you need to look at other raw materials you can see to grow and see how you can make money from it. 7-year loan to
the COP members.
It won't really cut in growing the economy if the major things that are very important, your power, your infrastructure, like you said, all those things, it won't work. So states need to get involved, EDGE needs to get involved, the infrastructure, every single thing is needed to grow this economy. Giving the loans might not necessarily cut anything right now.
Thank you. That's Olamide from ARM, and she was talking about the central bank is talking about giving 7-year loans to core members after they finish their NYSC with a 2-year moratorium. We'll probably get more into that tomorrow. Olamide, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody that sent a message, thank you for all the messages. Check out that video. It's really an amazing thing to watch. That's Business Express for today. I guess Fola will be back tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right.
Business Express.
Solid. We tried.
No. Why you not see Canada on here? What my home be Canada?
Because somebody sent a message.
7 o'clock. Car owner. Down for cruiser. Anyone can get a loan from Union Bank. Apply to it.
This is She Share.
South African tourism again, Abby.
98.1.